Welcome back everyone, RacerX here, and today I thought I would put a short video together for you guys about Chevy's new announcement on their ZR1 Corvette that's going to be out in about a year's time. It is absolutely a monster, and it may rival even the monster Demon 170 sitting right here behind me. Today I will give you my thoughts, which car will be the better car to own. It should be a fun one. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe. You can find that button right over here, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Guys, today I am back at the Dream Giveaway Garage, and directly behind me, I have one of their most epic giveaways that they have ever done. I've actually never even talked to you guys about this when I was here and I saw them, so I thought I would mention it. It is their Cadillac V-Series giveaway, 2 vehicles for 1 entry, and they are both amazing. That is a 2023 Cadillac Escalade V, and of course, this is a 2024 Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. Both of these cars are amazing. Let's take a closer look. This is one of the most expensive giveaways that Dream Giveaway has ever done. Both of these cars are power and luxury packed into one package. And of course, you get both of these 2 cars, $150,000 SUV, a 6-figure sedan, and both of them in the same exact drawing. 682 horsepower on that supercharged V8 under the hood. And of course, on the Blackwing, 668 horsepower. So you're talking about what, like 1,300 horsepower in these 2 cars, and they are both luxurious on the inside. I'll give you a real quick look at the Escalade V. It's almost impossible to even find one of these, and yet you have it right here in the flesh. And then right over here, you've got a few little custom touches. You've got the Blackwing right there on the side. Of course, they've also added a carbon fiber splitter right here in the front. This thing is luxurious on the inside. This is actually one of my favorite cars out there, is the CT5V Blackwing. Just look at how beautiful this car is on the inside. You also get a carbon fiber spoiler back here. I realize I don't do a ton of Cadillac content on my channel, but I will admit this is a truly epic giveaway. I actually did a review on the Blackwing on my channel before, and it did extremely well. A lot of people realize just how nice these vehicles are, and to have both of these 2 V-Series cars in the same giveaway, I mean, you have to make sure you enter for it. I actually already went and entered to win. Once I saw the cars in person, I knew I had to do it. If you use my code RacerX, you will get not 2, but 3 times the entries for 1 price. So definitely go out there to Dream Giveaway's website, enter to win 2 epic V-Series Cadillacs. I can't wait to see who wins. When Chevrolet first told us they were going to be making a C8 Z06, I think most people expected it to be supercharged. After all, the C7 Z06 was a 6.2 liter supercharged iron block making 650 horsepower. It's the exact same engine they put in the ZL1 Camaro. A very solid power plant, made a ton of those things, a very fun car to drive. And that small supercharger, it just worked. And when they finally came out with the specs on the new engine, 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8, leaving it naturally aspirated, revving to the moon. I think most people were just like, wow, that is some really cool technology they put into that engine. It's actually the most powerful, naturally aspirated engine, a V8, to go in an American sports car. A really, really fun car. That's exactly why I wanted one. And what it did is it set the bench extremely high in terms of what in the world is this ZR1 going to offer us. The C7 ZR1, 755 horsepower, once again, 6.2 liter supercharged engine, but with the ZTK package and everything else that car had to offer on it, it was really a high bar that GM had to kind of live up to. And now we have the new announcement of the C8 ZR1, just came out yesterday, so basically hot off the presses. 1,064 horsepower out of a 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8, essentially the Z06 engine with some modifications made to it, lower compression, things like that. But they stuck twin turbos on it. There's no electric assist, anything like that. And essentially what they did is they outpowered even the mighty Demon 170 at 1,025 horsepower on E85. This car does not even need E85 to get to 1,064 horsepower. And that is only scratching the surface of some of the cool stuff that they're putting on the new ZR1. As technology continues to evolve, things keep getting better and better for car enthusiasts like me. I think back to like 2013, 2014, when they had the Shelby GT500 making in the mid sixes, and everybody thought that was absolutely insane. And then Dodge kind of gave it one of those hold my beer type things, right? And came out with the Hellcat at 707 horsepower, and that really caused everybody else to step up their game. And then you all of a sudden had GT500s at like 760 horsepower. You had Corvette ZR1s, the C7 version, at 755 horsepower. Then you had the Red Eye at 807 horsepower. Of course, we know the 2018 Dodge Demon on race fuel, 840 horsepower. And then you've got this joker, 1,025 horsepower. This is the most powerful production internal combustion offering America has ever made by far. And now all of a sudden you have the new ZR1 Corvette, right? And so this thing took the title from the Plaid in terms of the most powerful American car. And then of course the Lucid came out. Those EVs, I mean, they're just kind of a whole different animal. But now when you talk about the new king of internal combustion in terms of American offerings, it is the new ZR1 at 1,064 horsepower. That is an amazing number. This car still makes more torque than that car. That car came in at 828 pound-feet of torque, but you have to remember, smaller displacement. The boost on that car is right about the same thing that this thing makes. I think this makes about 22 pounds of boost. The new ZR1 right about 20 pounds of boost through twin turbos, but you have to remember a twin turbo setup is more efficient than a supercharger setup because you're working off of exhaust gases versus a crank and a pulley. So it's a completely different setup there. So twin turbos, like it or not, they are a more efficient way to make boost, which is how it's able to make more power with less displacement. It doesn't make quite as much in terms of RPMs as the Z06 version. They had to kind of pull that back just a little bit. And of course, the compression ratio being a boosted application is not quite as high as the Z06, but you can think about 1,064 horsepower. And they gave us lots of other really cool bits on the new ZR1 that are noteworthy. I'm looking 215 mile an hour. That's really weird because that is exactly what Dodge said in their teaser that this car would do. But then of course they backed it off because of those monster tires in the back. This thing is more of a road race car, right? So this thing, it's not limited by tires, really more by aero. So with the ZTK package on it, it probably will not hit 215, but without the ZTK package on it, the Aero package, they're saying at least 215 mile an hour. And when the final stats come out, I would not be surprised if it's actually significantly higher than that. 1,200 pounds of downforce, the wing in the back of the new ZR1 will make. That, of course, is with the ZTK package, more aero in the front, but 1,200 pounds, that is a lot of downforce. Under 10 seconds, quarter mile time. Now, I would hazard to guess the non-ZTK package, if you're looking to drag race, that is the one to get. If I was going to get one, I would probably get a non-ZTK package. Now, this is more of a road race inspired car anyway, so a lot of people, they will go with that package. It's not going to be cheap, but if you're spending that much on a car, a lot of people say, why not? They're not doing top speed runs, and a lot of them aren't going to use it for drag racing. But the ZTK package is really cool with the downforce. It's just not going to be the fastest in a straight line, in my opinion. But under 10 seconds, I would hazard to guess it's going to be closer to mid-9s with the non-ZTK car. And that is really impressive because remember, it's a lot lighter than this car. And the two cars are really engineered for two completely different things. So I just want to put that out there. But yeah, it's a really amazing car. It also features anti-lag technology. I want to put that out there because the stigma with twin turbos is that they have all sorts of turbo lag, and some cars actually do. But if it has anti-lag technology, that means those things are going to be spooled up basically instantly, so you don't have to wait on the power to come in. They just thought about all these really cool things with the new ZR1 Corvette. A couple other key points of note with the new ZR1, it also has a carbon fiber roof that comes standard. And the reason for doing that, not only does it make the car lighter, but it also keeps the center of gravity a little bit lower so the car can corner a little bit harder. How cool is that? And with the ZTK package, you actually get monster carbon ceramic brakes, almost 16 inches the front rotors are, allowing that thing to brake extremely hard. As I mentioned, this thing is more of a road race inspired car. So you want to talk about a car car that is going to absolutely rip around the track. I cannot wait to see what this car will do at the Nürburgring, but we'll just have to wait and see. We're not expecting to see this car for, like I said, about a year's time, but this thing has everybody just buzzing. Everybody's excited about this new kind of king of the hill, so to speak. So here's where the comparison really starts between the ZR1 and the Demon 170. Now to the true purpose of today's video. Is the new ZR1 truly the new king of American performance and speed? Well, it really depends on who you ask and your perspective. As I mentioned before, these two cars are engineered for two completely different purposes, right? The Demon 170, an absolute monster at the drag strip, but it's really not all that user-friendly for just everyday driving. The big old tires in the back, you get caught in the rain, you're pretty much screwed. It feels a little bit floaty to drive around on the street, although it makes an absolute butt ton of torque and is still a ton of fun to drive on a regular basis. Then you've got the new ZR1. It's a little bit more of a well-rounded car, if I'm being honest. I mean, you can take that car to the drag strip, it's still going to be fast. It's going to be extremely fast around a road course race. It's going to have big old white tires in the back. The braking on it is going to be better. This car is not engineered for braking. They kept the brakes really small on the Demon 170 because it's supposed to just go fast in a straight line, and they wanted to remove weight from the front of the car. It's the exact opposite on the new Corvette. I mean, they put monster rotors, monster calipers on that car. I mean, everything about that thing is engineered for all-around speed and performance. So if you're a drag racer, the Demon 170 is still going to be the king of the hill, despite the fact it makes 39 less horsepower than the new ZR1. But if you're looking for an awesome everyday type driver, you're looking for something to go to a road course, and just more of an like all-around type driver, the new ZR1 probably will be the new king of the hill. I would love to see what it looks like in terms of like a roll race between these two cars. The Demon 170 is going to be significantly heavier than that other car. As I mentioned, there's carbon fiber bits on that. I would hazard to guess that car will probably come in around 3,600 pounds, whereas this one, 4,300 pounds. 700 pounds will be about the difference between the two cars, and that is pretty significant. Anybody that knows racing understands that piece of it. So whoever you want to ask, they're going to have a different opinion on it. I am very intrigued with the new ZR1, despite the fact I'm a drag racer. I've been doing drag racing a long time. I mean, that all-around performance still is a really appealing thing to me. Now, with all that being said, there is one major chink in the new ZR1's armor. Most of you have probably already figured out what that is. It's going to be the price. And I realize that this thing is really engineered to go out and slay cars like Ferraris and Lamborghinis and McLarens, and it will do that. I mean, this thing is going to be amazing. But price-wise, it will not be cheap. This Demon 170 I'm sitting in right now stickered at $118,000. Matter of fact, it was $108,000 before Dodge did their little price increase, kind of right before production. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. But still, $118,000 for this level of performance, being the most powerful American internal combustion car ever until this new ZR1 came out. I mean, there are all sorts of great things about what this car is. Now, the Corvette, unfortunately, has just kind of gone up and up and up in price. I mean, when they initially announced the Corvette back in, what was like 2018, towards the end of 2018, $64,000 starting price, nobody could get them for that, right? And even used ones now are more than that, right? And then you jump up to the Z06, prices got even crazier, right? I mean, anywhere between like 120 and 160 really is where you saw, depending on if it's a 1LT, a 3LT, if it's a convertible. There are lots of other little factors, as many of you guys know, but the Corvettes got really expensive. And even as I looked at a Z06 for the channel, I was like, man, can I even afford this? And now here we are looking at a ZR1, and they have not introduced a new price on this thing. As expected, the price will probably come to us maybe by the end of the year. We'll have to wait and see. I am hazarding to guess this car is going to start somewhere around like $190,000 to $200,000 for a non-ZTK package. That is my best guess. And with a ZTK package, I have a feeling that these things will creep up into the like the 220 to 230 range. I mean, now we're talking big money. Your average dude is not going to be able to even sniff a car like the ZR1. A lot of people kind of already thought that. I mean, it's a very appealing car to think about, but now we're up there in supercar price territory, and it's going to be unobtainium for the vast majority of people out there, which really sucks. And that is before the dealerships start marking it all crazy, right? A lot of people say, well, you know, RacerX, the Demon 170 had all sorts of markups on it with most dealerships. They absolutely killed the average customer, and you would be 100% right, and that absolutely sucks. So will dealerships take advantage of people on the new ZR1?
Hell yes.
Of course they will. It's going to be ridiculous what these dealerships do to the average consumer. But then again, you've got all sorts of people out there with more money than they know what to do with, so it won't be a problem for those guys. But for the average consumer that wanted to stretch and get one of these somehow, some way, good luck. The dealers are absolutely going to rake people over the coals, and to see a $350,000 or $400,000 brand new Corvette will not be out of the range of possibilities after the dealers put markups on these cars. So it is a much more expensive car, this new ZR1, in terms of a sticker price. And like I said, wait till the markups come in on them when they're brand new, and you guys will see a car that is it's going to be stupid expensive, and it will be Ferrari money and McLaren money and all that kind of stuff. And it's an American sports car. Who would have thought? After GM announced this yesterday, many of you guys messaged me asking me to weigh in on this, so I thought I would do so. And really the question is, would you rather have the most powerful production muscle car ever made in the Demon 170, or would you rather have the most powerful and fastest American sports car ever engineered in the new ZR1, if you could afford it? I would love to hear it in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.